name is Spencer Lawrence, and the topic I'll be discussing tonight is American Depository Receipts, which I'll refer to as ADRs. I'll discuss what they are, why they are used, and how they are registered. An ADR is a legal certificate representing ownership in the shares of a non-U.S. company that trades in the U.S. financial markets. Each ADR is issued by a U.S. depository bank or brokerage and can represent a fraction of a share, a single share, or multiple shares of the foreign stock. An owner of an ADR has the right to obtain the foreign stock it represents, but usually finds it more convenient to simply own the depository receipt. The price of the instrument corresponds to the price of the foreign stock in its home market, adjusted for the ratio of ADRs to foreign company shares. ADRs were introduced in response to the complexities of investing in foreign countries, as they help rid investors of the hazards and inconveniences of cross-border and cross-currency transactions. ADRs carry prices in U.S. dollars, pay dividends in U.S. dollars, and can be traded like the shares of U.S.-based companies, meaning that they are cleared and settled in U.S. dollars as well. There is a large appetite for ADRs among American investors, thus foreign companies continue to issue them. Generally, there are 3 different types of programs that a company can choose from, each requiring different registration and reporting procedures. Level 1 depository receipts are the lowest level of sponsored ADRs and can only be traded on the OTC market and only require minimal reporting with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. Therefore, it is the most convenient way a foreign company can have its shares traded in the United States. Level 2 programs are more complicated for foreign companies, as they are required to file Form 20F, which is the basic equivalent of an annual report, Form 10K, for a U.S. company. As a result, they are also required to follow GAAP standards, or IFRS, as published by the IASB. The advantage of upgrading to Level 2 is that a company may be listed on a U.S. exchange. Level 3 is the highest form of sponsorship a foreign company can obtain. Under this program, a foreign company may issue shares in the U.S. to raise capital and must adhere to even stricter rules that are similar to those followed by American companies. They are required to file a Form F-1, which is equivalent to a prospectus for the shares, and as with Level 2, they must also file Form 20F and follow U.S. GAAP standards, or IFRS, as published by the IASB. In order to source new ADRs, one can either deposit the corresponding domestic shares of the company with the depository bank that administers them, or obtain existing ADRs in the secondary market. To obtain them in the secondary market, one can purchase the securities on the U.S. exchange, or purchase the underlying domestic shares on their primary exchange and swap them for ADRs, a procedure known as cross-book swaps. These swaps account for the majority of ADR secondary trading. To summarize, there are 4 major parties involved in the creation/registration of American depository receipts. The first party is the issuing corporation, typically a large foreign-based corporation that is already listed on a major foreign exchange. The second party is a U.S. bank that sponsors the activity by accepting the issuing company's shares and selling representative certificates to investors via an exchange, which is the third party. A major U.S. exchange lists the ADRs for trading, allowing investors to buy and sell the securities just as they would normal shares. And the fourth and last major party is the SEC. The SEC plays no major role in the issuance and trading of ADRs, but requires the issuer to file certain documents, as explained above, before allowing the proposed securities to be issued and traded in the U.S. markets. American depository receipts help investors diversify portfolios and gain exposure to emerging economies, and also allow multinational corporations to raise capital in the U.S., enhance local market trading, and increase their base of U.S. investors. As securities, they have to go through a stringent registration process and adhere to standards set forth by the SEC. On a whole, they are regulated securities that can be beneficial to both investors and issuers alike. Again, my name is Spencer Lawrence, and thank you for watching.